The corner of filament, the corner of fun, the filament corner. Hey guys, it's the filament corner, the corner of filament, corner of fun, and I figured I would start doing some general or basic videos talking about some things related within the 3D printing world. Don't mind the animal noises. The animals think that they have to be with us if we're outside, and I like being outside with them. So, with that said, today's topic, well, there's a couple of them and they'll be in different videos, but first topic is on infill. Now, whenever you hear that word, if you've never dealt with 3D printing, you may not know what that means. If you have dealt with 3D printing, then you probably know what it means. Basically, it's easy to put it into three options. Your object is either A, hollow, like this rocket here. It is either hollow, it could be B, solid, or the most common one, which is C, it has infill. This big model has infill because I don't want to waste all the filament printing this solid, but you need infill in certain areas unless you have the proper ability to bridge those gaps, but that is a different term for a different video. Let's just say that you won't always have the ability to bridge those gaps, so you have infill. Now, hopefully, the camera will pick this up. This is transparent, but using such a thick, well, such a large diameter nozzle means that the plastic is thick. So maybe I can see the line structure in there as I move it around.
Let me go up. Sorry about that. Trying to move with him.
Now, the line structure on the inside prints as the outside prints. The general idea is that the outside looks pretty and the infill provides any support on the inside for anything that may need it. Now, for the most part, you will use infill in your models unless your specialty want it hollow and you can print it hollow, or you want it solid and can print it solid. Sometimes you need it solid, sometimes you need it hollow. Most of the time though, you want infill. Now, there are a variety of infills. I'm not going to go into detail. This is general stuff here, not advanced stuff, and there are many different types of infill, but we're only going to talk about two, 2D and 3D infill. One of the biggest ironies in 3D printing for quite some time was you could only do 2D infill. So sure, you was printing a 3D object, but the infill was only two-dimensional. It stayed the same all the way throughout. What I just showed you in the building was 3D infill. Much like how the object is three-dimensional, your infill is three-dimensional as well. So instead of just going lines or, a grid pattern, okay, well, we'll do this. And I've actually got a feld print that shows a bit of the 3D infill. So if you can see that.
If I can get on it here.
That is a failed hairy line.
I could see the lines.
So you can
Not
see,
wonderful, but
you can see these lines. That's the infill. But you can see how they change. They don't stay the same. If they were the same, you couldn't see those diagonals in their change.
okay, now I see it.
So, this is 3D infill. 2D, you wouldn't see that.
Yeah.
There are advantages and disadvantages over which infill you use, but that's a little bit more advanced than just the basics of letting you know what it is. And one of the final things, generally when you're learning 3D printing, you're learning how to hide the infill. Well, a cool little trick is you can use the infill to add to a particular print. So this was a foot I printed for one of my printers, and I used the infill to have it look like it has a certain texture to it. So I wanted it to be a scaly-like texture, and I used the infill for that. We got a zoom in, so hopefully y'all can see the texture on the foot there.
Yeah, I'm picking it up. If you'll look right in here, you can see those lines. That's where I'm mainly focusing on, because the camera's not wanting to pick it up down on the swirly part I wanted it to. Well, it may be picking it up a little bit.
It's not a very obvious addition, but whenever you do notice it, it can be just that little bit of extra touch on an object to really get that look that you're going for.
Yeah, it gives it a different look. I like it.
So you can use it in a creative way to add to an object. So just to recap overall, normally in 3D printing such as FDM, this printing, you are more than likely either going to go hollow, solid, or infill. Most cases infill. There are multiple types of infill. The ones that we talked about today was 2D and 3D infill, because they are different and there are different subcategories within those categories, and they're not all the same. Some of them do certain things better than others, and that is where you all can go and learn about it in more detail. So with that, thanks for watching this episode of Basics.